Wait, we don't wake up to an alarm this time? What's up, Dina? When I look to see what's causing the ruckus, I find Dina dashing back and forth across the kitchen. Oh no, we're out of bread. Can't happen. Oh no. There is no bread, oh no. Oh, I'll give you a hat. Bruh. Oh, that came out of nowhere.
一食くらい抜いてもどうということはない。ダメだよ。おじいちゃんももう年なんだから、ちゃんと栄養取らない
と。By the way, Nervin, you wolfed down that curry I made yesterday, didn't you?
捨てるわけにはいかんからな。だがあんな甘ったるいもの、わしはカレーとは認め。あ、まだ切なカレー残ってる。これでいっか。
Nervin reluctantly accepts the curry-filled lunchbox that's thrust upon him.
まったく、この男が来てからというもの毎日忙しくてかなわんわ。
I'm really sorry.
刹那は謝らなくていいよ。悪いのは寝坊しちゃった私だよ。白々しいことを毎晩二人でこそこそと出かけとるくせに。
Oof.
ほら、早く行かないと遅刻しちゃうよ。いってらっしゃい。今日も頑張ってね。まったく。
Nervin looking defeated heads for the door.
いいかお前。孫を危険な目に遭わせてみろ。カレーの具にしてやるからな。
With that, he leaves. What's scary is that it didn't sound like he was joking.
大丈夫だよ。いくらおじいちゃんでもそんなことしないよ。
Fuddy-duddy? I've never heard that before.
多分ね。
I know. I'll be fine as long as I don't put her in danger. Anyway, our nightly outings were really obvious, it seems.
おかしいの。いつも酔いつぶれてるのに。
Well, parents are more vigilant with their children than you'd expect. But he hasn't found out that we sleep in the same bed yet, right? Hey, Dina, you can tell Nervin, can't you? And about what you're trying to do?
でも。
Look, you need a massive battery, right? Nervin works at the power plant. If you can get him to help, you can fix your problem easy. And it's not just him. Everyone else here would lend a hand if she gave them proper explanation. But Dina just looks at me concernedly.
どうせ信じてくれないよ。誰も。
That's an unusually pessimistic thing for Dina to say. I believe you.
それは刹那が変なんだよ。
Weird me.
変だよ。すっごく。
Bruh. Well, it's true. I might not have believed if she didn't.
ね。だから完成するまでは私と刹那だけの秘密ね。
Got it, a little secret. A single lifeline, a means of saving this world. If we're not careful, whoever we tell might try to get her in our way and use the information for nefarious purposes. But it looks like I'm the only one worrying about that kind of stuff.
みんなをびっくりさせたいしね。
It's the face of someone who only sees the best in others.
ごめんね。お弁当を持たせてあげられなくて。
Bruh. Don't sweat it. And by the way, you're not running out of food because of me, are you?
大丈夫。西地区の配給は明日だから。
Oh, my long-awaited ration day has finally come. What am I so over the moon about? Well, I'm finally able to shed this life of poverty for one.
明日は久しぶりにお菓子が食べられるかもね。
Candy. Oh, you can get candy too?
たまに飴とかチョコとかもらえるんだよ。早く明日にならないかな。
You're definitely still just a kid if you're getting excited about candy.
私甘いもの大好き。
Oh, I thought she'd deny it.
私子供じゃないもん。
You don't need candy. Why don't I swap it for some bread?
それとこれとは別。女の人は大人になっても甘いもの大好きなんだもん。
Well, let's just leave it at that for now.
本当だもん。
Oh, I know. I remember all too well a young lady who'd get just as enthused about shaved ice. But the fact that I can't remember her smile means we never got to eat it in the end back then. I hope you'll get your candy. I give her beheaded head a good rub, as always. Dina beams contentedly. If only we'd been able to have that shaved ice without a hitch. If only we'd been able to live out a peaceful life after that. Might have even had a kid like you.
よくわからないけど、すっごく失礼なこと考えてる？
I'm sorry, I'm sure any kid of mine would be all kinds of twisted.
じゃなくて、子供扱いしてるとこ。
Don't get so mad, it was just a joke.
冗談だったら何でも許されると思ったら大間違いだよ。
I messed up. Oh, I almost forgot. You can buy condiments around here, right?
雑貨屋さんにたまに入荷してるよ。
Then I'll make something tasty for you tonight as an apology. Yeah, you betcha. The problem is getting the ingredients. All my money is with Karin ever since she snatched it out of my hands, so my current balance is, well, 0. Of course, I'll get paid if I do a day's work, like usual, but...
じゃあ、約束？
Dina sticks her little finger out at me. A promise?
さあ、刹那忘れっぽいから、こうやってちゃんと約束しとかなきゃ。
I extend my own little finger as instructed. That's when a sudden thought flashes through my mind. We'd still be together even after death. I wonder if that promise from back then still stands even now. Or has it expired? I left on a journey to fulfill my promise to her, but suddenly I feel like I've come a long, long way. God, that's an old rhyme. But I'm sure there's actually a second part to that rhyme. The Oathmaker's end does the pinky swear end. You're punished for breaking the promise, but if you die, you're free. So the promise to be together even in death might have been invalid to begin with. Although... I'm still living my life, aren't I? I'm sure the promise is still in effect. Right. I'll make sure to wrap things up quickly today and head straight back. Sent off with a smile from Dina, I begin climbing the stairs. I recall my feet being leaden as I went to work the other day. It's not just work that awaits me today, though. The secret to this world, to which the church holds the key, and Sara, who clung weeping to me the other day. But I made a promise, and that promise isn't a weight on my shoulders, it's a force which propels me forward. So all I have to do is keep on moving. With that resolve, I step boldly into the church. But Sara is nowhere to be found. When I ask one of the women passing by, it seems like she shut herself in her room with no intention of coming out. Can't blame her, I guess. Coronavirus? That was a dumb thing to say. Apologies. It's not like I can go wandering into the women's quarters, and I'm not so carefree as to just idle about here. I decide to go ask the guard if I can help out with some security work for the church instead. Security doesn't mean apprehending terrorists or fighting insurgents, however. Their work simply involves making regular patrols of the church's perimeter, and even that's not much of a job. But to be quite honest, the disdainful glares that you sometimes get from regular citizens can be quite painful. One of the guards told me he usually carries a weapon as a form of deterrence. But I'm not allowed to since I'm not officially a guard. Having to lug something like that around would just slow me down anyway. It's better that I'm unarmed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to glean any more information about the exploration team other than that what Karin already told me, but I learned quite a bit about the church's conflict with Avalon in the past. The guard I spoke to had been working for the church since those days. The story he told me made me want to plug my ears. What? The story he told me made me want to plug my ears. Okay, sure. I wasn't really able to picture it when he told me how the alleys are piled high with bodies, finding a dead body was still somewhat of a good thing since so many people just went missing, never to be found. It may sound nice being able to cling to the hope that they're still out there alive somewhere, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Hope can be surprisingly fragile. 3 days without food and you lose the strength to stand. You're no longer able to open your eyes after a week. Slowly but surely, hope vanishes, and before you know it, it's gone. But it doesn't mean there's no getting back on your feet. Hope returns, grows back, but for that you need time, and a mind-boggling amount of time of it at that. I'm sure that people of this island are waiting for the time to come, and I'm sure Sada is no exception. We kind of do need to get to Sada because we need to get paid. So bored and so hungry. I have too much time on my hands now that I've finished making my rounds and arrived back at the church. Despite my efforts to gather intel on Sada and the church, everyone's busy and the guards have disappeared due to some urgent business. Huh? I spy a girl walking past, her hands full of bags. Right, I'll go flirt a bit while pretending to help. What? I mean, resume my inquiries. Bro. You seem to be having trouble. Where are you taking all this? Wait, she's... It's the ringleader herself. It's okay, if you're talking about yesterday, that didn't bother me. What happened even? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What bad thing happened with Sada yesterday? Uh-oh. I don't even quite remember. I know the stuff that happened afterwards, but I forgot exactly what happened. I'm totally not going back to look at the video. What are you talking about? Come on. Her head bops up and down at high speed. People seem to be crowding around us. What exactly happened with her? I mean... Oh, that wasn't even in yesterday's stream. It was before yesterday's stream. That's why I don't remember. Right. Oh, things have gone wrong with her and Karin as well. Did she just run away or what happened? No, it was the crying thing that happened, right. And, okay. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. The crying and the kiss thing happened. That's what happened. Sorry. It's already been a few days. But then why is she staying? Was she just depressed or something? Okay. Well, if we're going to have this conversation, I think we should move it someplace else. Oh. Well. Come again? You overslept? That's all? She overslept and she felt so embarrassed she didn't want to... Right. I was thinking what even caused her to stay in her room, but... So the reason you didn't come out of your room this morning is because... Oh, right. I thought she would just be too embarrassed to even... No, she was just asleep. Then what about yesterday in the lift? Sarah's eyes dart around, then she gazes off to one side. What the hell? What? The hell? Yes, you do. You were the one who made the moves on me. Like, I guess it might have been my fault, you know, for saying stuff like, you know, for saying stuff that could have been misunderstood. I don't get a weirdly stubborn attitude. God, just throw that sketchy book in the trash already. I think that's it for my blood sugar. Sort of. Corn time! Sada opens up one of her bags to show me what's inside. I wonder what's inside. It's packed full of sandwiches. Oh, really? Are they corn sandwiches? Wait, are all of these packed with sandwiches? A few. Well, I might as well be thankful for them since she's offering. Munch? What kind of sound ASMR time? There's 50% more corn on this sandwich than usual. Did you make these for them?
はい。どうやら私の現状認識が甘かったようですので、今日は作れるだけ作ってみました。
I see, so that's a response.
もちろん、そういう問題じゃないのは分かっています。ですが、できることをしないというわけにはいきません。
I won't, don't worry. That was a one-time thing. Even if she's attacked for being a hypocrite, huh?
今日も手伝っていただけますか？あの子たちに配るのは。
Yeah, of course. It makes you wonder just how long it took her to make all these sandwiches. Oh, so that's why she overslept? Jeez, just how devoted is she? Though, there's one thing I want to get straightened out first.
はい、何でしょう？
It's pretty nerve-wracking being put on the spot, but there's no sense in chickening out and changing the subject. It might be excusable during peacetime, but right now we're in no position to act like a couple. Wait, that's chickening out too. Regardless of the world we live in, there's one thing I'm unwilling to concede. I made a promise. I can't be romantically involved with you. What? I made a wish. Sure? A wish that I could... Please, brain. I made a wish, sure. I wish that I could change. That still holds true. But that doesn't mean I want to forget the past. So I'm sorry, I can't support you.
心外ですね。私が刹那さんにすがっているとでも？
Did I get the wrong idea?
支えが必要なのは刹那さんじゃないですか。
I told you I'd...
その約束の相手をなくされたんですよね。
Hey.
死者は人を支えてはくれません。屍は荷物にしかなりません。荷物を捨てろとは言いません。過去を忘れろとは言いません。分かっています。捨てようとして捨てられるものではないことは、忘れようとして忘れられるものではないことは。ですが、だからこそ、前に進むためには、誰かの支えが必要なんです。
Then who is she suggesting I'm relying on? Who is it that enables me to keep moving forward? Of course, that goes without saying. Thanks for your consideration. I'll be... No, I'm alright.
とてもそうは思えません。
You'll be meddling if you go any further?
そうは思いません。
Look, clutching my head in this exasperation. Why is she so passionate? It's simple, right? I have someone I love, that's all there is to it.
私だって好きな人はいます。それが刹那さんです。
You're wrong, our paths just happen to cross.
いいえ、違いません。
She looks straight at me, her gaze unwavering.
刹那さんは私の恋人です。
Bruh, what's she saying?
私たちはかつて将来を約束し合いました。
Long ago. The old Setsuna then? What's she talking about?
住む人たちを救おうと誓い合いました。
Then when do we do that?
毎
It's...
晩大きな大きな夢を語り合いました。
Who is that with?
ですが刹那さんは約束も果たさず死んでしまいました。
It was him, right? Died.
刹那さん、
Sada calls my name without the slightest bit of hesitation.
あなたは何者ですか？
Who am I? What keeps me going? What am I living for? But more than that, Sada, who are you? That isn't me. That's not me in our memories. So who...
私はあなたを殺した人間です。
Who is she?
もう一度問います。刹那さん、あなたは何者ですか？
I swore to never repeat the same mistake I made that day, so think about it. Sada's true feelings behind her words. What she's seeking from me and what she's seeking from Setsuna. Think about it, don't answer her, don't chicken out. Or, think about it and answer her, don't chicken out. To give the answer I wasn't able to that day. That's right, I'm not your Setsuna. I haven't formed an identity of my own yet, but I'm not going to be afraid of that anymore. I took advantage of Nina's kindness and borrowed her big brother's name so I can live in this world. I touched the collar on my neck. But this belonged to someone dear to you. Setsuna Ohara. Nina's big brother and Sada's romantic partner, the one Sada killed with her own hands. Didn't Sada give me this thing? Knowing that she had... What? Wasn't she the one to give me the collar? It wouldn't make any sense. Because she killed old Setsuna, Ina's brother. Must have been tough being with me. Must have loathed me for assuming his name. I reach around the back of my neck and undo the lock. It feels somewhat strange to have it unbound in so long. I'm returning this. I can't bear the fact that my possession of it brings back painful memories to you. Doing so means I'll no longer be able to receive rations or get a job, but that's perfect. It means I don't have to show my face to her anymore. After today, the fake Setsuna will vanish before Sara, once and for all. Sara? She doesn't reach out to take the collar. Instead, she kneels down, practically putting her forehead to her knees.
すみませんでした。あなたのおっしゃる通りです。私はあなたにあの人の姿を重ね合わせて脅迫じみたことまでして、あなたにあの人を演じさせようと。
Oh, there, I wasn't trying to blame you.
そんなことをしても犯した罪は消えないのに、この真っ黒に汚れた手はきれいにはならないのに。
I don't know what the situation, don't know what situation she was faced with, but if your hands are tainted, then what does that make mine? What does that make me? A man who lied, cheated, and defiled his body and soul, and took her life in the end? Want to die together? It's a straight drop down from here. It would be extremely simple. Jesus, man. There's no point in doing that if it's easy. You wouldn't be able to forgive yourself if you did that, right? People are reborn. If that's true, then the crimes you've committed will gnaw at your flesh again and again from one life to the next, until the time comes when you're able to forgive yourself, until the time comes when you're able to love yourself. All you can do is fulfill your promise, the promise you weren't able to that day. The one you made with Setsuna, to save everyone on the island. It was your dream, right? Yours and Setsuna's? Then make it happen until your last breath. I plan to do the same. Place my collar on her lap and turn her away. With this, I turn over a new leaf, but I'm already used to that. No matter how treacherous my path, I'll keep on walking. As long as a path lies ahead, even if it's just a tight rope. Don't know, so it finally comes. Scratching my head, turning around, I found Sara standing there, the rims of her eyes still glistening with tears. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I've always gone by Setsuna. Sara blinks a few times as if to fan the tears away. She presents the collar to me with both hands. Sara and I are left shaking about in the lift, plunging ever downwards. So this means I've been revived? I see, then let's go with that instead. Fine with me, I have some questions of my own anyway. I'm referring to the real Setsuna? With that said, it's a difficult topic to approach given the romantic nature of their relationship. Hey Sara, you know, the girl I love... she misunderstood me again, even though I was just using it as a lead-in. You know, it was right about here yesterday when we... She's got some nerve seeing as she came onto me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry yourself. It's not like it was my first time. I'm getting nowhere. Wait, shouldn't I stay on the attack? You weren't my second either, you know? Why is she being so insistent? Does that mean those boos of yours have had their fair share of attention? Hello? Exactly. That dog Setsuna, I haven't even laid a hand on those colossal cans yet. What is that even? This game. Oh, that's fine then. To me, 5 years is too long for me to imagine. But I kind of understand how she feels. Time passes a little too quickly in this world. There are moments in life when you want to stand still, and moments when you want to curl up for a while. When that happens, you should just let it go for a short oh no, for a short time. Someday we'll rise up once more and begin to walk again. We'll be able to, once we've met someone who will pat us on the shoulder or give our backs a gentle push. Oh, but I can't take your Setsuna's place, even if I did take his collar. Sada flashes a grin. So that means I'm just the bait? What? Grateful, huh? That unpleasant itch on my back is probably telling me I'm not such an honorable guy, that I'm not worth thanking. I'm just a nobody after all. I can't accomplish anything on my own. Right, why don't you let me fondle those knockers as thanks? So you'd be alright with it if it's not? So the scriptures don't come into play at all. Sada suddenly conceals her face and then... No! She clings tightly to my arm, leaning heavily on me. Wait, her chest is directly touching my arm. Hey, Sada, I was just joking early, you know, I wasn't particularly... Oh no. Hey, Sada, are you okay? No, she's not. Oh no. Hang in there, not much longer now. With Sada continuing to retch, I massage her back in long strokes. That reminds me, she had her head down and kept silent at first. Jeez, this one's nothing but trouble. Forgot this. Don't say that. I'll wash right off later. It'll wash right off later. Oof. I won't have anything to wear on my way home though. Surely it would be my pride hanging in the balance. Anyway, you said you accumulated plenty of experience, didn't you? Then that should have been nothing. I have, by the way. What? I wish you wouldn't look at me like a piece of... Well, I am covered in dirt, I suppose. Why is she sulking? Kissing is a big deal. It's not like something you do to someone unless you love them. Unless you're in the like Europe or the Netherlands, where it's like when you come to a party. I have a ping. Oh no. Why is there ping? Alright. Useless ping. I'm sorry for not being someone you love. Whoops, I forgot to read that one. Now she's getting angry with me. Well, I did say so in the end, but then you... I wasn't striking you. Why is she blaming me for this? Sada averts her gaze and instead directs it to the basket placed in the center of the plaza. Phew, I'm saved. Is she serious? Ugh. Strange? It might appear that since we brought so many, but... it might appear that way since we brought so many, but even taking that into account, the children don't seem to be biting. I'd say there are about half as many gathered here compared to yesterday. Looking around the square, Karin is nowhere to be found. Well, didn't expect her to turn up, but the fact that Peach is absent too means... Or maybe they're just sick of corn sandwiches. You sure? That was a swift denial. Well, I don't think that's the case either. Don't worry yourself. It's just one of those days. The ones who didn't show up today are probably the mini Avalon crew. Karin must have forbidden them from approaching Sada or something like that. She's a stubborn one too, after all. Well, Karin did witness the conflict between Avalon and the church with her own eyes. I can understand her distrust of Sada. If anything, I'm the strange one for trusting her without any substantial evidence. But on the other hand, that's how I'm able to mediate between the two of them. Hey guys, you can take the whole basket, so go grab some for your friends later. As soon as I call out, the children venture out from the shadows and swipe the basket. Next moment, Sada and I are the only ones left in the plaza. Just as unsociable as usual. Don't make it sound like they're my kids. Am I really that similar to the children here? They speak too little, are ungrateful and impossible to read, plus they flock to anyone who's kind to them. I guess we are alike. Ooh. No, I was... Where did I come from? I only have hazy emotions and bits and pieces to go on, but I can say one thing for certain. Somewhere much, much nicer than here. Thinking back on it now, it was a time filled with happiness. That's why I failed to notice the most important thing. I got kicked out because of a bunch of stuff that happened, so I'm living with Nina now. That's right, the one with the hat. Setsuna, I assume? She hasn't changed. She's always cooped in her room, messing with something or another. Sada looks down and falls silent. Not really, just that he'd gone missing. I'm sure that's because I've avoided the subject too, but Dina's never tried telling me about him either. She's always called me Setsuna like it's nothing, never once looking awkward when she did it. It has been 5 years after all. Enough time to hope for hope to completely vanish, as well as time to forget her disappointment and grief. No, there's no way she'd forget. It's penetrated deep into her heart. She's just pretending to have forgotten about it. Yeah, she is, and she's a cheerful, positive, hard worker. Shockingly so, in fact. Well, I could say the same about you. Everyone here is resilient in some sense of the word. Instead of getting discouraged or giving up, they wear smiles on their faces, even with all the suffering they must have endured. That's what makes me want to change. Though it's sort of pathetic to say it to someone's face, so I won't. Hey, can you tell me about him, Setsuna, if you want? Sada falters for a moment, then continues. Of course, I know at least that much. She sees me nod and begins her story. Sada shoots me a slightly mischievous glance. Suppose it does. Though the Avalon back then was an actual insurgent army the church was fighting at the time, it would be a euphemism to say he was going to be beat up. I bet they would have ended up killing him if she'd let them be. You're skipping over it? That's the best part. No, that's fine. Just give me a quick summary. Hearing her speak fondly of Setsuna would just get me riled up anyway. What? Told her to keep it short, though I must say that's a rather corny line, but oh my god. No, that, oh god, oh, well done, translator. Vilika, well done. That only works in English. That's not a joke they made in the Japanese version. God damn it. It was just a dream. Well, she must have liked him so much that he appeared in her dreams. Pretty sure this corn fanatic's dreams are relevant here, honestly, but he was suspected of being a spy, right? Were you fine getting involved with him?
スパイ容疑だなんてとんでもない。
But no matter how much you insisted on that, the grown-ups around you must
あ
have...
の人は正真正銘アバロンのスパイでしたよ。妙だとは思ったんですよね。時々柄の悪い方たちと歩かれているのを見かけましたし、ですが猛アタックの甲斐もあり、晴れてお付き合いさせていただけることになったんです。
Wasn't he just using
か
you?
もしれませんね。です
Perhaps.
があの人はきちんと話してくださいましたよ。自分たちはこの世界を、アイランドを救いたいだけだって、すべてを包み隠さず、私に話してくださったんです。
Does that imply the church, your parents, and everyone else were hiding things from you? You might have not been such a bad guy after
ことが
all.
終わった後にベッドの上で
After? He's the
口
worst.
下手な人だったんですよ。
I don't think that was the problem. He's better than me just talking to her, I suppose.
私は教会の考えをあの人にお伝えしました。教会も願いはアバロンと同じだと。
The church and everyone's wishes are the same? To save the island? You sure though? Because to me it feels like the church is just using the people.
教会とアバロンの和解が成立したのはその直後のことでした。
Because of YouTube by any
それは
chance?
わかりません。ただの偶然かもしれませんし、私も知らないところであの人が奔走してくれたのかもしれません。ですが私はこう考えています。もともと双方の願いは同じだったのだから、和解は当然の結果だ。
Yesterday at the altar, Sarah concluded that the conflict was a meaningless one. Sarah knew that there was no need for the church or Avalon to fight, that the fighting had simply taken lives, but that was put to an end 5 years ago.
問題はその後です。
Sarah's voice grows firm.
和解後間もなく聖地アバロンを探すために遠征隊が組織されました。言い換えればアイランドの外に活路を見出すための先遣隊です。アイランドの外は禁域と定められた場所。聖地を探し求めたために数えきれないほどの人間が命を落としたと、私は本当は反対したかったんです。
Right, and so Setsuna must have gone, and then he came back all bloody and something, like we heard last time from Karin.
ですがあの人は
Setsuna joined the exploration team, and Sara was unable to stop him. That was Setsuna's wish, as well as Sara's.
大聖堂の奥にあるアイランドと外の世界をつなぐゲート。普段は近づくことさえ禁じられているのですが、その日だけは違いました。遠征隊の壮行式です。ゲート前は別れを惜しむ家族や恋人でごった返していました。ですがあの人は一人でした。私にできたのはゲートの向こうに消えるあの人の背中をただ黙って見送ることだけでした。
I'm sure that was enough for him, though. Even though he was alone, he had someone to send him off. Even though he was alone, he had one person waiting for him to come home. And I have to ask her, the one person who'd been waiting for him, the most cruel question of all. But if he's the man Karin met, if the church was indeed hiding the truth... I heard that no one returned, though. That's the crux of the matter.
それは
Sara takes a quick glance all around us and speaks in a low voice.
それは教会の嘘です。
It was a lie. It was a lie.
戻ってきたのは7人。誰もが衰弱しきり、瀕死の状態だったと聞いています。
Why did they keep that 7? 7, did she say?
戻ってきたのは7人。
Oh, she's saying the alternate form. Oh no. She would have been great if she said Shinin, then I could have sent that to Alex. 7.
残りのメンバーはアイランドに帰り着くことさえできなかったそうです。そう。アイランドの外は死の世界。
There was no hope.
そこに希望はありませんでした。
What didn't... I thought Oh, I already forgot what happened yesterday. I thought that the guy from Karin said that there was an ocean, right? Oh, now I have to check back. I hate that this game doesn't have a massive log. You can't scroll up forever, and it's actually pretty short. So I'm actually gonna go back real quick and look. I thought that the man... Where is it? He was saying some pretty crazy stuff. Karin said, the word comes up in a bedtime story they tell. I'm like phrasing, like quoting what was in last stream. Karin says, the world comes up in a bedtime story. The word comes up in a bedtime story. They tell here that the outside world is half covered in water, which they call oceans. No one's seen it. We don't know if it exists. I don't even know if he really saw it. Wait, have I gone too far? Maybe I need to go back. Alright, he was saying some pretty crazy stuff. That he saw the ocean. Right, I was right. The man who returned, who was supposedly Setsuna, who came back, was chased by the guards from the church, and also mentioned that he saw the ocean. But now she is saying that the world outside the island is one of death. There was no hope to be found there, but were there oceans? That was the truth the church kept hidden. That was the secret of the world that the church have been protecting all this time?
事実を公にすることはできませんでした。当時のアイランドにはまだアバロンを支持する者が多く、彼らは外の世界に希望を求めていましたから。
Hope can be surprisingly fragile. It gets chipped away little by little every day. But if it suddenly got smashed to pieces one day, their hearts would suffer the same fate. They wouldn't be able to pick themselves up again after that.
教会は7人の存在を闇に葬ることを決めました。
And that's why you killed Setsuna? Is that why?
彼らを極秘裏に収容していた病院に火を放ったんです。
Wait a sec, that's... And that's why he is...
口封じです。
Why did they have to go that far? Surely there must have been other ways to keep him quiet.
事件を私は人の噂で知りました。病院で火の不始末隔離病棟に入院していた6人の患者が亡くなったと。
Look, 6. Where's the 7th one? The one that lived was...
それがあの人でした。事件の3日後、あの人は私の前に姿を現しました。全身が炎に焼かれ、目を背けたくなるようなひどいありさまでした。あの人は私に事件の真相を話し、それから言いました。決して誰にも話すなと。それがあの人の最後の言葉でした。
Sarah's legs are shaking.
なのに私は彼の言葉の意味を理解してあげることができませんでした。どうして最後に私の前に姿を見せたのか、どうして最後に私に真実を伝えたのか。誰にも話せないのなら、どうして私に。
Sure, the reason for that was a simple one. He probably wanted to meet you one last time before he died. Also, he probably didn't want his last words to be a lie. Sarah's a wise woman. She would know that much without me telling her. She just doesn't want to acknowledge it. If I had sent someone to their death, I wouldn't want to acknowledge that they'd wanted me at the very end of their life either.
こんなことになることが分かっていたら、生かさなかったのに。絶対にこの手を離さなかったのに。
That's not true. Sarah and Setsuna protected this island by not letting their hope die. They gave people the strength to stand once more. The two of them kept their promise they made to the very end. You'll get sick again. Even our way back up the lift, I'm struggling to find a way to break the ice. The difference is, this time it's become harder to make conversation, since Sada looks like somewhat of an empty shell. This is the face of a person who's just spilled all her secrets, I'm sure. Maybe Sada has no more left to say, but... Oh, that's not good at all. Oh no. Suddenly plunged in darkness, the lift comes to a halt. Sada, are you okay? Feel her tugging at my sleeve. I can feel her trembling. That's not good. The lights are out. Maybe it's a power cut. The power? Doesn't Nervan work at the power station? Is there an emergency procedure? Well, fuck. I hold my breath and listen for any sounds. Silence. The lift has come to a complete stop. Doesn't look like we're in danger for now. Let's just wait it out until someone fixes it. How do you know someone... Oh, Jesus. They will eventually notice, right? It's okay. We'll figure something out. The two of us sit in the cold floor. There's nothing we can do but wait. Nothing to wait. Nothing but wait and hope that nothing bad will happen. How long is this gonna... Right. Shit. Bad shit's gonna happen here. Is there no escape hatch or, like, can you force the door to open? Wonder how much time's passed. Our vision might have returned thanks to the emergency light that lit up, but the button itself is unresponsive and the lift shows no sign of moving. Every lift must have an escape hatch, right? I think that's a safety feature of any... Like, there has to be... There must be some required... I mean, this is not the world we live in currently, like whatever happened in 20,000 years. I mean, nowadays you would have so many safety features it wouldn't really matter, but I don't know, maybe it's different here. I don't know what's going on outside, but I bet things are not back to normal just yet. Shut off on the outside world, the lift is just like a stone tomb. It's almost like we've seen this kind of thing happen before. Is it protecting us from the world, or is it protecting the world by keeping us locked inside? Can't help feeling irritated, but that I can't do anything but wait. What is real time, though? There's no absolute measure of time. Such a thing does not exist. That's why a standard needs to be put in place. That's why we need to find not a time that someone else has imposed on us, but our own sense of time. Maybe that's why people want to venture out into the outside world. People are creatures of desire. They seek what they cannot find here. An ideal which must exist somewhere. What's wrong? What was your impression of me before? Well, you're mostly right about that. There's nothing wrong with living that way as long as things are going well. But that's not good enough. Setsuna, huh? He helped the church, even though he was an Avalon spy? Didn't realize he was a spy. I see, he really was like me. Ooh, a tunnel leading to the outside. Did you? Of course. Right. For her, the church rules are like... Sorry, foolish question. The church forbids people from going outside. The church tries to protect people from the world of death, but people lose their senses when they continue to be cooped up in a small space. The thing is... If it's a world of death, I mean, Dina has been outside there before. Me, main character too. That's why Sada and Setsuna want to change the island. Hey, Sada, mind if I ask you another foolish question? Something I wanted to ask for a while now. Why are you going to these lengths for the island? She hands out food to the collarless children. She saved an Avalon spy. She's concerned for the island's future. I didn't get a chance to ask her back then, or rather I didn't have the right to hear the answer to the question, but I feel like I do now.
それが私の宿命ですから。
Destiny.
幼い頃に母から聞かされたことがあります。ガーランド家は汚れた一族だと。
Family besmirched?
そしてその罪はお前の体にも刻まれていると。その時はよく意味がわかりませんでした。幼心にかっこいいとさえ思っていました。
Cool.
見ますか?
Bruh. Sarah chuckles at me. Maybe it's just my imagination that expression suddenly looks like a little girl's. Sarah. Oh, is she talking about the... Right. I didn't get that. My brain didn't click with that. Right. It was the mark, the birthmark. Which, uh-oh, she can't show me. No way. She might have taken it as a yes, or maybe she had no intention of asking me in the first place. Can't do that. Sada pulls down the neck of her robes without embarrassment or hesitation that this has happened before. Hey, what are you? She continues exposing her naked flesh until... Although, there's not much light here anyway. It enters my vision for a brief moment, then I come to my senses. Cover it up, it's not something you should be showing to other people. I grab Sada's robes and forcefully redress her. My heart isn't throbbing because I got to see the breasts I'd only imagined in my wildest dreams, of course. On her left breast, towards the middle, right near where her heart would be, was something that still burns in my mind. A mole. Now, it would be unusual for one to have such a defined shape. So this is... a branding? With a slender finger, Sada traces over the brand over her white robes. Obviously there's no way of knowing what that brain. Obviously there's no way of knowing now what those sins were. But even if they've forgotten the Garland family, by etching it on their bodies, made sure they never forget the fact that they have sinned. And here they are, connected by blood and passing from one soul to another over the passage of countless years. That's the reason why Sada fights? I don't know much about myself. It's alright, I'm not an amazing person like you. I'm nobody. It's hard enough just telling the truth nowadays. I think I'm still in the middle of discovering who I am. Yeah, of course. Still don't know when that will be, but I'm sure I'll discover my true self at the end of my journey. Oh, the lights have come back on. The floor starts to shake. The big question is what happened. Having taken a single step out of the lift, Sarah stares wide-eyed at the sky above. Stars are shining. Must have been trapped in the lift for quite a while, haven't we? Crap, if word gets out that we've been away from the church all this time, might even find out through the grapevine that we've been giving food to the children too. The residents find out that we've been breaking our own rules while the ration system is still in effect. Sada covers her mouth and sinks to the ground. Well, figured this would happen. There's no use panicking about that now. Why don't you rest a bit? Take her by the hand and guide her to a bench. Then... turn around and find an irritated woman standing there barking at us. She's a nun from the church, judging by her appearance. What time is it? Oh, it's a full power outage. Power cut, so it's not nighttime. That means... She suddenly shoots me a piercing look and I hastily let go of Sada's hand. Just her bodyguard.
サラ様に向かってこいつとは何事ですか。
まあまあ今はそんなことより。
どうされましたサラ様。まさかこの男に何か。
いえ、リフトで。
リフト？
あ、いえ、これは。
Sada's getting flustered and tongue-tied. Looks like it's going to have to come down to. Looks like I'm gonna have to come down to the rescue. Don't make her say it. She has morning sickness.
何を言い出すんですか、せつなさんは。
Just go with it. You'll be in serious trouble if you got found out now, right?
後からもっと困ることになりそうなのですが。
Take responsibility.
どんな形で取ることになっても知りませんからね。
Well, it'll work out somehow.
そういうことですので、私のことはお気になさらず。
まさか本当にご解任なさっているのですか？
You really are with child? What? So you really are with child? I have a feeling that this sentence doesn't really quite work. She still seems to have her doubts, so I'll give it one more push. Oh, there, don't bother your mom too much, Mala. What?
なんて名前をつけるんですか？
It's a placeholder for now.
よくありません。やはり晴天から取ってマリアとかにですね。
Could you stop complicating this situation?
あ、そうですよね。男の子か女の子かも分かってないのに、名前なんて早すぎますよね。
Oh, I just understood what? Huh? I have a feeling something went wrong here in the translation, because to me she has morning sickness. Oh, wait a second. What does that mean? Right. I didn't understand this. Uh-oh. Morning sickness is nausea that occurs during pregnancy. Right. I didn't understand that one. I thought it was just she's sick of mornings. She doesn't, I don't know. Okay, right. But this one still, right. Oh god, that's so bad. That is gonna get you in serious trouble later. Holy shit. Too soon to give them a name. Oh yeah, I always seem to be getting the hang of it. Do you want children by any chance?
欲しいですよ、そりゃもう。
Oh.
サラ様。
Whoa, that made me jump. Why is she
あり
crying?
がとうございますサラ様。
え？
サラ様がご解任なさったとなれば、
Excuse
お
me?
父上様もきっとお考えを改めてい
Is
ただ
that
ける
is
は
that
ずで
just
す。
an English thing? If you are with child, is that a thing? I don't know this about English sentences.
長かった認識票の発行制限もこれでついに。
Identification.
私はずっとこの時をお待ちしておりました。こうしてはいられません。
Oh,
すぐに
this
教
is
会
gonna
に
get
戻
in
って
some
ガラ
fucking
の
trouble,
枢機卿
isn't
に
it?
ご報告してまいります。
ちょっと待って。
Shit. Sarah tries chasing after the woman and dashed off. Wait, Sarah, I grab hold of her hand. We can clear the misunderstanding later.
ですが、父に誤解されては
I forget that now. She mentioned a power cut earlier, didn't
停
she?
電？ええ、もしかしたら発電所で何かがあったのかもしれませんね。
I have a bad feeling about this. Nervan works there, indeed. I already said that. Yes, I already said that. Where is it, Sarah? What if something did happen? What if something irreversible happened while we were trapped in the lift?
ご案内します。ついてきてください。
We take the lift down to the second stratum, and following Sarah's lead, it takes approximately 15 minutes. There on the other side of the commercial district and right in the middle of the industrial district is the power plant. We step inside the building after passing through the open fence. The path is only lit with emergency lights. It's so dark that I have trouble finding my feet. It's always like this?
以前父の視察に同行した時は、
Uh-oh.
警備員もいましたし、明かりだって。
Did Avalon raid the power plant? Sarah points out the map of the building on the
行き
wall.
ましょう。中央制御室はこちらです。
2号機の再稼働はまだか。冷却終了まであと25分です。空気循環システム依然として停止したままです。第4層の二酸化
Oh
炭素濃度
no.
危険域。 構わん。ダイソーの維持に全ての電力を回せ。
Fuck! Central control room. Angry bellows fill the air.
そこで何してる。ここは立ち入り禁止だ。持ち場に戻れ。
That's bad. What I just heard. That air is gonna go to shit down at the lower areas. What?
刹那か。お前がなぜこんなところにおる。
Oh, Nervin, I'm glad you're okay.
ああ、幸い死人は出ておらん。何名か怪我を負った者はいるがな。
Casualties. What on earth happened?
札なしのガキどもだ。集団で押し寄せてきたかと思うと、あちこちぶち壊していきよった。
But they've destroyed the whole atmosphere circulation system. It could mean that the place where the children are is gonna get no air. Colorless kids, they can't possibly be.
大方上層へのやっかみだろう。奴らが住み着いている第4層への宮殿は最低限に絞られているからな。まったくやってくれる。復旧にどれだけ時間がかかることか。
まさかあの子たちがそんなことを。
Is that why they were missing?
お前さん、サラ・ガーランドか。
The din in the control room vanishes in a moment. The men stop in their tracks and direct their gaze at Sada.
ネハンさんが発電所に勤められているとお聞きしまして。
Sada showed me the way here.
待て待て。何が何やらさっぱりわからん。
Everyone looks back and forth between me and Sada, his eyes darting about.
ネハンさん、実は刹那さんは私のせいで。
No, now's not the time for that, Sada.
そんなことではありません。私にとっては重要なことです。
Anyway, Nervin, about the children who smashed up the place.
もういい。とりあえず話は後で聞く。見てる通り今は忙しい。
Oh.
仕事の邪魔だ。隅の方にでも立っていろ。
Sada and I can only do as we're told, watching Nervin at work from the corner of the control room. If only there was something we could do to help, but with Halfa the specialist turns flying across the room, going completely over our heads, it doesn't look like there's much of an opening for us to chip in. Nervin dashes in and out of the control room, under orders from a man who looks to be a superior. Kind of unsettling to see him dragging his legs sometimes, though. Beads of sweat on his brow, his face scrunches up in agony, and he roars out in encouragement to his subordinates. And with that, the hustle and bustle finally dies down. Once I piece together the jumbled fragments of speech, I figure out that they were able to get the previously inert generator number 2 up and running again. So ends the commotion surrounding the power cut.
なるほど。お前の仕事というのはサラ・ガーランドの警護だったわけか。
Sorry for keeping quiet about it all this time, Nervin.
ペラペラ喋って回るような仕事でもあるまい。よからぬやからに目をつけられるのがオチだ。
It's already happened, in fact.
で、そんなお前がなぜ警護すべき相手をこんなところに連れてきた。もし何かあったらどうするつもりだ。お前に責任が取れるのか。仕事は遊びじゃないんだぞ。人の命に関わる仕事ならなおさらだ。
You hit the nail on the head. I just acted on impulse again without giving my actions a single thought.
お言葉ですがネハンさん、刹那さんはあなたのことを心配してですね。
わしの命とお前さんの命、どっちが重い。そんなことも教えてもらっとらんのか。ガーランドのお嬢さんは。
聖典には命の価値は平等だと。
わしが死んでも代わりはいくらでもいる。だがお前さんに何かあればアイランドは滅ぶぞ。教会は一枚岩じゃない。お前さんの親父さんは民衆からの指示で枢機卿の座に上り詰めた男。教会の他の派閥の人間から見れば異端者だ。民衆の支持基盤を失えば教会は内側から瓦解するだろう。つまり教会のマスコットであるお前さんだ。
That's enough, Nervin. I'm the one at fault here, don't blame Sada.
二人でかばい合いか。短い期間で随分仲良くなったようだな。
Nervin heaves a deep sigh and casts his eyes downward.
サラ・ガーランド、お前さんは刹那なら誰でもいいのか。
So you knew.
あいつは隠しているつもりだったようだがな。孫のことぐらいちゃんと見ておるわ。あいつがアバロンに入ったことも遠征隊に参加したことももちろん。
私もあの人も馬鹿げてなど。
うちの男は皆解消なしだ。そんな男がよりにもよって枢機卿のご息女と付き合うなどと身の程知らずな恋の結末は昔から決まっとる。破局だ。
私たちは違います。
ならなぜあいつはアイランドを出て行った？どうしてお前さんを捨てていった？
それは
今頃聖地とやらで若い子をはべらせて楽しくやってるのかもしれんな。
Oof.
お前さんのことなんぞ忘れてな。
違います。あの人はですね。
Calm down, Sarah. Keep the anger inside under control before standing face to face with Nervin. Nervin, why do you always have to be like that? All you do is grumble on and on about the past. How many times are you going to repeat yourself?
言ったはずだ。年寄りにできることは自らの経験を語って聞かせることだけだと。経験の足りないお前たちにな。
Inexperience.
そんなことはないと？自分は人並み以上の経験をしてきたと？大間違いだ。お前たちに計り知れるほど世界は浅くはない。
So you're saying that you know it all then?
知らんよ。わしが知ってるのはわしが見てきたことだけだ。だからそれをこうしてお前らに話しておる。せめて同じ過ちを繰り返さんようにな。
You don't need to tell me that.
お教えください、ネハンさん。何が過ちだったのか。
Sarah.
ここまで行ってもまだわからんとはな。所詮はただのマスコットか。いいかサラ・ガーランド。お前さんと刹那がつるまんでもいずれ戦いは終わっとった。教会側の勝利でな。
ですがそれでは。
アバロンとの和解で何を得た？人々にいらん希望を抱かせただけだ。最初から希望がなければ刹那のバカも外の世界になど行かずに済んだもん。
Why does he have to say it like that? Why do people who sacrifice their own lives for others have to be treated like idiots?
ごもっともです。
Sarah.
刹那さん、ネハンさんのおっしゃる通りです。
話は以上だ。分かったら早く上に戻ることだ。ここはお前さんが来ていい場所じゃない。
お仕事中にありがとうございました。失礼します。
Why did Sarah step down so readily? If they hadn't done anything, surely.
何をボケっとしておる。とっととこのお嬢さんを教会に送り届けてこい。それがお前の仕事だろう。それとリンネに伝えておけ。今夜は帰れそうにないとな。
行きましょう、刹那さん。
Was Sarah urging me to leave and exit the control room? As I stepped through the door, I heard Nervin's voice calling from behind.
サラ・ガーランド、お前さんの親父さんはよくやっておる。今のような時代には他人を犠牲にしてでも生き残る図太さが必要だ。
What's it that pompous old git ranting on like he's all that? Sarah, don't let what Nervin said get to you. It's just full of crap. Hey, Sarah. Sarah's come to a stop at the giant hole in the middle of the park. What's wrong? Did you see something? I stand next to Sarah and stare down into the abyss. Below is the commercial district where we were just earlier, and below is the third stratum. Its streets lit up here and there, and below that is nothing but pure darkness.
昔はずっと下まで光が灯っていたのでしょうか。
Maybe. I can't even imagine that though.
もしそうなら、仮想を犠牲にすることで私たちは今日まで生き残ってきたのかもしれませんね。
The sigh escaped Sarah's lips in a cloud of white, so it didn't just affect the lighting, but also with the climate control too.
私のやっていたことは父に対するただの子供っぽい反抗だったのかもしれません。
Cardinal Garland, the highest authority in the church. It doesn't matter what your reasons are. What's important is your desire to save the island.
救う方法などあるのでしょうか。
も
しかしたら父のやり方が最善なのかもしれません。
The island is a sinking ship, and that's precisely why it needs someone at the helm, to give us a little longer before the end comes for us. To give us a little longer before help arrives, I understand that, but it's clear the situation is only getting worse if we just wait. You'll catch a cold if you stay here. Let's go inside now. But contrary to her words, Sarah shows no signs of moving from her spot. Her eyes are just focused on that bottomless, pitch black hole.
どうして私たちはこんな時代に生まれてしまったのでしょう。
Sure, it's the same as any other. The island is just a solitary ship floating on the waters of death. But I know its crew and are searching for ways to survive. You might not like this, but I'm actually quite fond of times where the times we're in. Everyone's doing their best to survive. Well, the best time to be in would be one where we could have an easy life, though.
やはり刹那さんは不思議な人ですね。まるで他の時代を見てきたかのようです。
Other times. Yeah, that's right. I traveled here through time in order to save the world. Like hell I did. It's just another bald-faced lie from God knows when. First one I have ever told her. Once you've told a lie, you can never take it back, but
信じちゃいますよ。
that's what you want. I'll make it true if that's the case. I'll make all the lies I've told true, then no one would have any complaints. Someone who hurts and upsets no one. That's the kind of man I'll become. There's kind of a slight problem in the church, though, because we told them that she's gonna have a baby or something. Are we gonna gloss over that fact? Well, I think I'm gonna end the stream here for today. We'll continue next time.
ほら、ちゃんと覚えておきなさいよ。
Lots of things happen again, but the most important thing is that the church now thinks that Sarah and me are gonna have a baby. Well, that's probably gonna come into play at some point. Oh well.
あら、タイトルに
Thanks for
戻る
watching,
の？
and I'll see you guys in the next stream or video.
ネバーアイランド。